Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays Chess. We had a video where things were just very nice, very calm, and we did improve our rating slightly. We lost one on this draw, but we did win the first game in the video. I'm enjoying our 10-minute sort of chess extravaganza here, and I thought really that second game, despite almost nothing happening, it was well, it looked like nothing happened, but it was a very fun game regardless. Okay, so we're playing the Dutch defense against a 1555 player. Pretty strong. So I forget how it goes from here, which is why I should probably watch our lesson again. And Tomo, you want to leave, huh? That's good timing. So I know that you can play the stone wall, and you know you put the bishop under the wall here. But I think alternatively you can also play d6 and then hope to basically create almost an inverted version of our last game where all this action was happening over here. Instead, it'll be happening over here. Okay, so they want to... I mean, if you want to get crazy, let's get crazy, man. So I think we still like the push. No, I think we hate the push. Why? Trade, 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 trade. That's horrible. That's terrible. So what I will do instead, I'm actually willing, if you want to trade, go for it. I'm willing to destroy my king side for this accidental meme we've created. I think we 100% want to trade for the record here. We don't really have much of a choice. Then you start to think about it. Let me push Tomo out of here. And by push, I mean open the door. Okay, buddy. Okay. Okay. This knight is not very strong. As much as you might think like, oh, we can get some tempo or something, I don't consider it very good. I do like not mind this, but I don't know where we go after that. I don't find us very pleased, at least. Let's move this out first. I'm very concerned about this sort of area right here. You know what? Fair play. I feel like I've gotten myself into a little bit of a meme, a mimetic experience early on here. And I'm not sure if I like it. And now I'm like not even thinking. I'm like, you want to trade queens? I already moved my king. I don't mind. They moved it back because they're scared, and it's hard to blame them. We're going to put some pressure on this pawn. We're like a minute and a half down already. But we got some interesting possibilities, at least. I would hazard to guess that the game probably considers us down right now. This is such a weird move. Like, why? What are you doing that for? That's because you don't think I will take this, which is fine. Are you really going to take there instead to try to put pressure here? It's possible. I might be like insane. I almost thought about like this. What about this, though? You know what I mean? It gives up the attack on this pawn. Maybe that's not so bad, though, to maybe start getting this bishop out of there. I don't know what this move is, and that's what scares me. The thing and I don't know if I'd say it's an advantage, but the thing I'll say about Sun Tree right now is that they are moving like real quickly, which to me feels like maybe we could pull some leverage out of that. So they're like not concerned about this at all. I actually, to be honest with you, I feel like I love this trade. I feel like we like a bishop for a knight in this unique context. I don't like this because they could just put me in a discovered check and get a pawn out of it for free. But I kind of do like this. And then, I mean, they can still discover... No, then they discovered check me. They get a queen for free. That's substantially worse. So getting this bishop out here is meaningful to me. No doubt. I don't really want to do this trade. I'm going to try, I think I'm going to try like this. I don't know where you're going with this, and I think for the present, I do not mind. Were I them, I don't know what I would do here. Okay, I don't think it's bad, for the record. But I don't think it's bad for me either. We have to be careful. I know people are going to love this move, but then what if they do that? We don't have like a great response, in my opinion. So I just want this out of here. I want to do this to put some pressure on the knight. I'm not worried about time so much. Like, I don't think this game is as bad as it looks. They want to do this or something to put some pressure on my queen, which is understandable. I will respond by moving my queen out of the bishop's line of attack. We could always get our... I mean, like, we definitely do not want to do that because of the discovered attack from the queen. But, I mean, it's not a great situation. We need to find a way to get our rook out, you know? They will not trade, but we also can't move our king. Do I hate this or am I okay with it? It's certainly like if we wanted weirdness, we've gotten the weirdness we've requested. We might have the advantage just from the sense of like we could pivot off of this at any moment. Like I can't help but think they're probably going to do something like this. We should think about our moves more. Even though we're tight on time, you know, this game is like an advantage waiting to be busted out. Why this? I wanted to get coverage here. If they want to trade, they don't. But if they wanted to trade, I would be completely okay with it. I wouldn't mind in the least. Now I would, because I just gave him the pawn for free. My whole thinking here was just like, I want to get my rook connected. It was a misplay though. So we need to do this to get some coverage here. We're down, let's be abundantly clear. We're down here. And not in a good place. We're bad down. However, it's not like a catastrophe. We're down a pawn, but we have two bishops instead of two knights, I think. Yeah. I don't know what's happening there. It does start to open up a powerful diagonal for me. This is mostly so we can free up our rook. This whole thing was caused by us not knowing the opening, by the way. Like, we fell victim to, like, what you would probably consider just a normal gambit, unfortunately. So we knew that, like, something like this was probably coming. Are we okay with the trade? I would say yeah. Again, we have a disadvantage. As in, this is not advantageous. I do like the idea now of us putting some pressure on. Yeah, this is a weird one for sure. We're going to lose this pawn, aren't we? Hold on. Take. No, we're not going to lose the pawn. We do have to figure out where we want to go from here, but we're not losing the pawn, I'll tell you that much. We want to keep some defense on our bishop. That's like the hard part right now, because the bishop is like the most vulnerable aspect. Now, I do wonder, we got plenty of time. Okay, we go here. You have two choices. But it protects this pawn, which is kind of crazy, right? So, like, you'll probably go here. Can we start to move the bishop out? Because the bishop is very vulnerable. So what are we gonna do? I don't know. I don't know if this is even the best move, but the other possibility is that they're gonna try to put some threat on the bishop now, which seems very fair. This is the most vulnerable pawn on the enemy side, for the record. So let's just walk it through. If you do like this, what are we gonna do? That. Is there any way we could protect the bishop from here? Not really. Are we willing to stake a gamble here? Tomo, I'm sorry to inform you that I can't really let you in for like another 2 minutes and 21 seconds here. I think we just gave up too valuable of a space. Yeah, or just the pawn is like the other alternative, I suppose. This is pretty much a resignation at this point. I'm a little embarrassed, / like a lot embarrassed. But it's true, I think. This is probably a straight resign. No disrespect to the opponent, they played a good game, and clearly like they're either they puzzled it out or they're a little bit more well versed on the situation than we are. On the opening, I should say. So we're just giving this a chance. Like, who knows? Maybe they'll make a blunder. We could slip in a couple of pawn captures or something. I hate this bishop just being like wide open down here, but we did it to ourselves very early. Okay, well now Tomo, you can probably come in now. That's fine. Hey buddy, Tomo. Just hoping that maybe, like, you know, if you do, you don't also immediately, like 5 seconds later, be like, nah, actually, I want to leave. Okay, so we're gonna ooh, dunkity dunk. Yeah, we're not sweating it just yet. Oh, and then okay, now hold on. Now he would like to come in. Okay, Tomo, yeah. Maybe you could just stay here for a little bit this time. You know what I mean? We're gonna lose the bishop unless we do something quite considerable, the likes of which I can't possibly fathom what it is, especially as we come close to running out of time. Yeah, I think we're kind of toasted there. Like, it's push. Pretty much we should resign here. Tomo, it's not your fault, buddy, okay? It's not your fault. He takes this. He don't take that. It's not your fault, but it is also a little annoying. Let me put it this way. There's a number of different ways that our opponent could start to work his way into an advantageous position here. It would be a colossal frick up for him to not be able to make something happen here. Like, that's probably the next move you would consider. So what if we just did something like that? I'm not, I'll resign in some situations. I'm not going to resign on this right here, though. We should probably start to do something like this. I don't really know what the game plan is. I'm kind of hoping it looks like this. Check. I was like, then he goes here. Probably not. What about check? I don't know. We have to think it through. I know this doesn't look great. Do we care? We care. We care a lot, actually. Takes away like one piece of protection over here. And then do you just push? The push is pretty bad for me. Because I'd be in check immediately, too. Anyway, this is worth pointing out. Anytime I say, like, it's a resigned territory, it's not out of, like, disrespect. Like, again, I know I've said this before, but it comes up on the Discord occasionally. A resignation in chess is really like a... as much as anything else, it's a sign of respect, actually. You know, you have respect for the opponent's time, and you're saying like, hey, you beat me. You're not saying like, oh, I'm not gonna give you the pleasure of doing checkmate, you know? Like, we're not going to win this one. Though, how sick would it be if somehow we got our way out of it at this point? With 7 seconds left. So you gotta be cool. You gotta be cool on these. We're checkable. Stay frosty. I don't know what's happening. Come on. We're fighting against the fighting against the current here, that's for sure. I don't even know what the board looks like anymore. Okay, good. That's a good game. Let's go to analysis. 7 mistakes, 3 blunders. You know, again, can I tell you where it came from there? It was all the opening went completely backwards. We still, like, I need to study that video that, you know, I literally had a lesson with the international master, and I'm like, I'll just remember it. We were actually up by 8 right here. Okay, but that was with, like, literally, like, if we go to analysis, I don't even, details maybe? I don't know. We had, like, 4 seconds left at this point, so I'm not really sweating that. So we'll mostly look at the early game analysis of where this went wrong. Because that really is where it got busted. So it's very standard, very standard. They hate that. Okay, so instead you do this. You move the knight here to offer protection to this piece. Okay, and that's probably, it's as simple as that. Like, they hate this. They still think we're not down by much, which is funny to me. Okay, they do not like that, though. They think it's a mistake. They prefer F5. Let's think about that. F5. Wonder why. F5 goes out. Your best move is probably here. Just guessing. They like C3. Okay, your best move is here. What does that give us? We're up by a little in the eyes of the game. I guess they like the bishop take now. Probably they think the queen take is better, and then we get the free take here. They like it. They prefer this, but they like that. But doesn't their queen just take here then? Yeah. And then no, that's the best move. Don't they just do that though? They do. They like I forgot that the bishop gives us a discovered attack. So I guess instead of this, we would probably do like that. There's a discovered check. I don't know what they do here. Probably that. No, that's a blunder. Oh, because, yeah, we get the free. Well, don't we get the free? Yeah, we do. No, we don't. E2 is like king to F1? Okay. Well, I can start to see why they thought this was better, without a doubt. Then we start to push. Whatever. You get the idea. Anyway, it's not even close to the way it went down. It went down like this. They don't like the take at all. They still like f1, which we never do. We start to push queenside pawns. They still don't think we're down by too much. I think, honestly, where we lost it all was when we gave... Like, even this is not good, obviously. But we lost it all when we gave up this pawn on this move, I think. I still think we had a chance as long as we left that pawn covered, but it does think we're down by a lot. That's honestly the reason it says we're down by 7 is because like the pawn structure over here is so good and my bishop's doing nothing. So like that was a poor game for sure at the end of the day, but we didn't give it up due to just like a significant blunder where we like threw away a piece necessarily. All right, Janton 1951. Let's do this with the English opening. They want to do an exchange. You can tell. Janton, he wants to get aggressive. Can't blame him. So I prefer our situation here. I think following this, I like the idea of controlling the center again, like pushing some pawns to e4. I imagine they'll do e5. Either way, we respond with this so we could push to d4 next turn and get good control of the center here. Imagine they'll do e4. We want our bishop in a good spot, and honestly, like one of the best spots right now is right there. Could always do e6. This pawn's a little spicy because it's got no c pawn to cover it. But we needed to put our bishop in a comfortable spot, and I would say mission accomplished. If you want to trade, I don't mind. Okay, so I much prefer your bishop on that spot. Definitely still enjoy the prospect of castling. And I'm not a coward. I bet you're going to do that, maybe, now that I think about it. Maybe I should be a coward. I don't know, because if you do that, I'll just do this. Am I not completely fine with that? I think I'm completely fine with that. I definitely feel, even though this is like open here, I feel like I want to push you. If you want to do the captures, like go ahead, like take it. But I tend to not dislike this for white. This is kind of what we wanted to do to begin with. Bishop is now free. Knight has the ability to attack. We wouldn't swap probably, but we could instead just move our knight here. And it's a very powerful position. They could choose whether they want to swap the bishop or not. So this is the Anglo-Scandinavian defense. My mistake. I mean, I suppose, you know, we could also do like this and try to... Well, no, it's not very good. I suppose we could do that. I don't really like that either, though. I think I like this. The problem, though, now that I think about it, Janton 1951 is disconnected. There is a problem with this, now that I think about it. There's a discovered attack. Like, if you take this... What am I going to... No, then I'll take you as well. So he's going to castle queenside. This is a thinker. I love the idea. It's a sacrifice to our king side. I love the idea of this push. Getting this knight to stop covering this square. At which point we get our knight in here. And it's prodigious. Alternatively, though, look, we don't want to cap that. I actually think I like this. We would love this trade. Then we go here. Obviously, they're not going to let us have the fork on the king and the queen. But I think we have a very aggressive standard right now. We have to watch out because, like, obviously... Oh, no, we would never go here anyway. But I would say if I had to choose, I would prefer my position. We're covering a lot more space. So they need to do something to cover the knight so they don't have to use a pawn here. Would I care? I don't know if I would even care. I really doubt he's going to castle. It is a little scary because with the rook moving to this, it creates... Okay, yes. as we've figured out, probably would not have been a good move. Never good to assume your opponent's going to make a bad move. I don't know that I love the trades, but here's what I'll say about this, okay? Like this right here, they're going to take here. There's no question. Unless they have some kind of gambit up their sleeve I haven't considered. So this bishop that'll be here now is completely... no, it's not really neutralized now that I think about it. Because it has an attack on this knight. So first we will do this. And if you want to trade, please do. The next move will be this. And we still have some threats. Like, so it depends what they do, obviously. But if we do this, take... So they're going to put some pressure on this bishop. I feel like we really like this, which almost forces either a move back or alternatively this, which is not great for how it exposes the king. I think it does bad things to their king's side, but what do I know? Or what will inevitably... Well, I say inevitably, I don't know. Maybe they won't do it that way. But they probably will. Anyway, what I was going to say is, if we can get our knight here, maybe they decide, hey, this bishop sucks anyway. We take, obviously it's a fork, but they just go blunk. But then we can go here, and prevents them from castling. I don't know if I'd say it's actually very good, but it does prevent them from castling. We also, and believe it or not, you know, I think we have some considerable advantages here. Like, we could have also done this. They're not going to hang the piece, right? They're either going to move him back or they're going to trade. And I don't really want to do the trade right now. I feel like because we're attacking, I'm trying to internalize it. Because we're attacking, I feel like it's better for us to keep our queen on the table so that we can actually have more threats. Janton 1951 is disconnected. It's all right. It happens. Take your time. I'm not used to these marathon games. Yeah, okay. So we figured that would happen. And we know what happens next. It's probably something like this, which is great news for us because we don't want to keep... We don't want to... We want him to lose as much tempo as possible, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I do... Okay, so are we really willing to leave this unattended? Because if we are, then I think I really like this first to block down here. I don't want the queen to just take our pawn. And then when they do this, we can respond with that. And that's a mighty interesting situation. Okay, we knew this was likely more than anything else. I see your point. So now we're forced to take with this. Or alternatively, we do that, which we had planned to do at some point anyway. You destroy your king side a little bit, which will prevent you from castling there. At which point we do that. So it does give you access to like an open file, but you're kind of... I prefer my position. still one of those times you got to say, like, not that impressed with where they're at. They will move their queen next turn. So here's what I like. I like this, and then it creates a very interesting situation where this pawn is admittedly quite open. So let's walk it through. If we do this, what are they going to do? They can't move the knight. They will probably move the queen. They'll take? I don't think so, because then we take. So I imagine they'll probably still just push. But that's insanely bad. Because they still can't capture because we just put them in checkmate. It's not checkmate because the knight will be there. I think we, and it is complicated. I'm walking it through, okay? If we do this, they do that. We do this, they take, we take, their knight is gone. If they take here, checkmate. No, not checkmate because they get out here. They can't take because, no, because, you know, it's complicated. I don't really want to give them a free pass on the knight. Would I be willing, for example, to sacrifice a bishop? Let's say they did this. Danke. Check. What do? They have to go here. Do I prefer that, maybe? Still? I'm not sure about this one, to be clear. I'm not sure. But it creates some chaos. This pawn is probably not long for this world. The flip side is that that pawn and this pawn and this pawn are also pretty weak. But also, I suppose in some ways this pawn and this pawn are weak. We could also play this a little differently, I suppose. Like if... I don't mind this. You know, for all the things we thought of. Now, the thing is, this does allow them to move their knight. But the flip side of it, to a huge degree, is like if I just do bishop here, right now, because I don't want to do it after they do that, then what are they going to do? How are you going to respond? You have to move to a position that will protect this pawn. So you have to move back here, I think. And if you move back here, you know, let's call it slightly complicated, but I think it gives us some tempo. I want to be able to threaten this queen, or this pawn, right here. So I would not at all mind... we're getting into an elo, I feel, where we're not like tricking people very often. So I will tell you with authority, I think we love the take. Now, they take, we take. It's check. What do? I don't know. But either way, we just got two pawns. And if they want to trade queens to get that pawn, then I think we consider it acceptable. I just want to make sure I'm okay with this. Because now we have a lot of coverage here. We'd rather trade queens than give their queen access to like being back here. And actually, now that I think about it, I suppose we could do take, check. Check. I mean, we have to do this. Check. No, because it does still give us that coverage there. Do we prefer letting their king back? I don't think it matters. What we do want to do, like if they trade, I'm okay with it. But what they do want to do, like take, yeah, you knew that was coming. We accept the trade. We're up a pawn already. They'll probably do something like that. So we're up two pawns. They have to defend this. Maybe they don't have to, I guess. They could do whatever they want. But it puts us in a better position to take this and then get into an attacking position on this. I suppose they could take that. I didn't even think about that, but what do I consider superior? I like our position more. We are down on time. They like it. Okay. So they want to put some defense on this without a doubt. So it's pretty simple. For us, we will do that. King becomes a very powerful piece now. They'll probably go here to threaten this pawn, at which point we almost have to respond in turn. And then we want to threaten this pawn. Okay, I see your concern. Certainly. We can give up these 2 pawns if we have to. I don't really want to trade 2 for 1. Is there something we can do if they do this? We do that. No, maybe we hate it. Let's walk it through. Here? No. Hold on. They have the pressure right now. I'm willing to give up 2 for 1. It does spring this pawn. We have kind of a time disadvantage. We got to make some decisions too. So now he will take again. We got to stop this pawn without a doubt. What we could also do is put some pressure on this pawn. Now they choose. And we have pressure on this one as well. So I don't care about that at all yet. Now we have to think about that. I like that this rook is locked here right now. I think we can get this pawn and then get that pawn. This is a scary move for me. What did I tell you? So you'll probably go, you have to go here. So we cannot mate. We have to stop this pawn. Can we take this first? I think you just ignore it and you save it for later. We're getting into, like, this is endgame flavor. I don't think we like that first. I know times are tight. I know times are tight. I think we got to get to the back file here as quickly as possible. And then we can push our pawn advantage on this side. So we don't mind. I think we actually just do that. No, that's horrible. Why don't you just push? Yeah, that's a good point. I was like, that's not as smart as I thought it was. They now have a rook advantage. We have a few pawns, admittedly. We threw, basically, is the easiest way to think of it. They will take this pawn. With a single rook, though, and their king so far away, I think we actually... I mean, it's not good. Just to be as openly apparent as possible. The king moves are very strong here. We should have had this one. We actually let it slip away in the endgame, which is kind of a rarity for me. I'd like to think, at least. Now, does he know how to mate with one? I would imagine, with just the rook, I would imagine the answer to that question is yes. This is really bad. Basically, he just needs to get us away from this pawn, and it's over. Or we could stalemate. That's the other alternative. You'll presumably... I mean, if he takes, we draw. If he goes here, we have to go up. Okay, so it's a draw. Oh, dude, we got insanely lucky to draw this one. We'll lose a point on the draw, but that's like a... Like, if we look at the analysis here... Let's just say we'll be very lucky. We'll consider ourselves very lucky to have pulled a draw out of this. Mostly because he's surpassed us in the end game and then threw it away in the end game as well. Like, we were up by 7. They love this move, really? I thought this move was horrible. Okay, so they think we're crushing. This is all we really need to look at. Like, this, to me, this is the interesting part. Okay, so what did they not want us to do here? Probably just immediately push. Or no, hold on. They like rook to e6. Oh, it's the classic move, because, like, what does he do? If he goes here, which is not the best move, but... Okay, he goes here. We go here. What does he do? You take. We take. Now we're up by... We win, basically. So even there, even though we were down a rook, we were still up by 7 points. All we needed to do was find that move. But we didn't. Anyway, so starting... Like, we should be substantially down still. 2 pawns. That's not that much, actually. It's a better draw for him than I originally thought. That's a blunder that loses you the whole game. We were down by 52 points, and yet, look at that. Came out with a draw. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. It's not my proudest video, but we didn't do too badly. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!